I wonder how other people just seem to be able to do it all, you know, parent like it's really easy, you know, balance everything, balance work and life and children and all of that, and just think, how do you do it? Like, there's days I just feel like I'm absolutely drowning in parenting. You know, meeting their needs is getting harder and harder. Munchkin is with autism and global development delay, so he's effectively a 2-year-old in a 4-year-old's body. And when you're trying to enforce boundaries with him, and he just doesn't get it. And we'll be as consistent as we can be, and you keep doing it and you keep doing it, but you're trying to talk to him and he's off scripting and babbling away and having a lovely time. It's lovely to hear his voice, but it's like, holy heck, child, would you shut up just for 1 minute and listen when I'm trying to ask you something? Or, you know, I'm trying to ask you what you want for breakfast and you're telling me raisin. Go, raisin is not an option for breakfast. Do you want toast or cereal? Raisin. Okay, yes, I know you want raisin, but do you want for breakfast, do you want toast or cereal? Brioche. Okay, brioche. Great. Okay, you can have that. Fine. You know, just... yeah, some days it's just really hard, and you look at, you know, obviously it's not just social media, because social media makes everyone look like everyone's absolutely perfect and you're the only ones drowning through life. But yeah, there's just days when I'm like, I'm trying to help you grow up to be a functioning member of society, kid. And like, how, when you can't even stop and listen, when you have no sense of danger, you know. Yeah, I just worry about them both, because pretty sure the more I read, the more I see, I'm like, pretty sure Smudge is PDA profile autistic, which we've had one doctor person pick up on it, where they had to check his feet, and he threw an absolute meltdown because he didn't want to take his shoes and socks off. And we had Munchkin in the room as well, and he sat there, ear defenders on, just like, I don't want to be in the doctors. And she just went, have you ever had concern, or have you ever thought, you know, that your younger one might be autistic as well? And I just went, yeah, but, you know, because he's social and stuff, people don't see it. And she was like, I mean, I'm seeing it. You know, he thought it was less than a 5-minute appointment. And she saw it, and she saw more in 5 minutes than either of his nurseries have seen in, he was 9 months old, he's now in like over 2 years, so like, it just makes you feel a bit of a crap parent, because what other people see is a child having a meltdown. They don't see the reasons behind the meltdown. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it just feels like life is really quite tough at times, and I'm like, I just don't get how people do it all. And then I'm like, well, maybe they don't do it all. Maybe you just see, obviously, I guess, I know social media is normally like the highlights reel. But, trying to work out how you are meant to afford Christmas presents and stuff when I've lost a lot of pay over the last month and a bit. And it's silly things like, you can't ask Munchkin what he wants for Christmas, because I don't think he even knows that Christmas is coming. You know, he's seen the decorations, he gets some things happening, just about, but as to what is happening, he's got no idea. You know, and then when you get people go, oh, you're going to take them to see Santa, and you're like, absolutely not. Like, I do not need that. I did took the boys when Smudge would have been about a year old, and Munchkin would have then been about 2.5, and we took him to, it was like a light thing. But the problem was, the first bit you went into was absolutely like pitch black, this tunnel, before you turn the corner and then there's lights, and he freaked out at the dark bit, walked into the first set of, like, it had acrylic cutouts of Christmas trees, and he walked into it because all that walkway was mirrored and he couldn't see it, and it was just complete sensory overload, and we didn't finish it. I did as much as I could with him, and then we got to the point and I was like, no, this isn't fair, because for the first, half of it, there is no way out, and you can't go back on yourself because there's all kinds of weird stuff, and it was very, it was tunnel of lights or whatever, but it was not an experience I'm keen to repeat. But, just hoping that things will get a little bit easier at some point.